Well, I'm supposed to be the only black guy at this party. Shit. Yeah, I know. It's whack.
Guy in there killed your father.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Barry Haydu. Detective Lieutenant in the Clifton Police Force.
I think I can stop it right here and say, yeah, there's gonna be some spoilers for the Many Saints of Newark movie, which recently released in theaters and on HBO Max, where I sat down and recently watched it. And I gotta say that for a movie that was so heavily promoted around the concept of the rise of one Tony Soprano, as you can, who takes forefront on the poster? Well, it's a gentleman by the name of Dickie Moltisanti, the in-universe father of Christopher Moltisanti, who was actually in the film. Now, spoilers ahead, all right? Because this movie has left me with just far more questions than answers. Namely, why would you have the tagline? You guys should be able to see it right there. A Soprano story, when in reality, you've tried to pack like 15 Soprano stories into one film, and it kind of comes across. It does come across as a rather incoherent mess. But the theme that they try to circle around to circle the story around, the death of Dickie Moltisanti. I don't know. Oh crap! I didn't turn that off. Okay, there we go. Let's get a little bit more detail, because I trust that you've seen the movie, or you've stopped and you've come back and now you're all caught up. You watched the movie and you're like, hey, yeah, so that's just like, wait, what? Like they didn't even like touch any of this.
Tired today. That's his retirement party. Everybody always told me he was a fucking cop. I thought he was dead. My mother can't even talk about it. Did the hit for Julie Ruffalo.
Did he, Tony? Did he do the hit for Julie Ruffalo? Or was it, Uncle June that slipped in the rain, ended up with a back problem, and thusly really felt some kind of way about Dickie laughing at him, which is what led to the unknown assailant. Because all of this that we're hearing right now, apparently this is the story that they apparently fed him in universe, whereas the truth was that he laughed at Junior slipping on the steps, and that was it. That's all it took. And Chris, you came up without a pops. That really sucks. I mean, it really does. And I'm not even going to pretend like life isn't so fickle, right? I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is complain a little bit about how Tony Soprano was barely in this movie, okay? If we're being real, when it came to, like I said, the marketing, it was all around the rise of Tony Soprano, the gentleman who just got finished telling Christopher all that bullshit right there, right? Played by his son. I mean, this was supposed to be the big coming out story, and how, Dickie really guided him towards the criminal lifestyle, when in reality what we got was a commentary on race in back then in the 60s, and I'll get to the main crux of that when it comes to the love triangle in a moment. But when it comes to Tony Soprano, you'd like to think that, hey, we're going to see him hustling, right? We're going to see him, when they snatch up the ice cream truck driver, right? I assume he's about to extort him and just start having him pay out to him, and then him kicking over to Dickie, and Dickie be like, hey, this kid, he's a hell of a earner, right? I mean, he's really getting his bread. He really got potential in this. But no, they just went and handed out free ice cream. It's just, like it was, like I said, it was several movies in one movie, several stories in one movie, and one of those stories was the delinquent Tony Soprano and how he's torn, particularly when it comes to a set of speakers that his uncle gives him, and he's like, oh my goodness, well, these were gotten via stolen gains, despite the fact that he'd been going to his uncle throughout the entire movie and just like, like getting and recognizing like, yo, there's some advantages to partaking in the mafia lifestyle. But yeah, what we were sold was a false bill of goods. What we really ended up with, and Ray Liotta, what we ended up with is the Dickie Moltisanti story, where his father, he seems like a good dude. I mean, they did the one thing in this film that I really can't stand, and that's when the film keeps saying its own name, and they did that a lot in the film. Like, oh, you're the one of the first gangs that you see is the Black Saints, and somebody is calling Dickie himself a saint, or during Jeanette, what's his sister's name? Janet's confirmation, she's getting gifts of saints, and like that was really cheesy for me. But Ray Liotta plays two roles in this film. He plays he plays Dickie's father as well as Dickie's uncle, which once again the marketing was a little confusing on, and it kind of it threw me for a bit of a loop in the beginning of the film, because I'm like when he eventually kills his father, and well, let's get into that as we're talking. So his dad comes back from Italy with this bad bitch. Okay, she's okay. She's a little bit better than I. I mean, pure blooded selling goodness. Okay, I mean, seriously, I'm pretty sure that a love spot tastes like mozzarella and the greatest of ragouts. So either way, I'm an idiot. So either ways, yeah. So he's banging her, his dad's banging her. But he hears an argument that they have where she ends up falling down the stairs, and that takes him back. It takes Dickie back to when he used to do it to his mom. And so he beats on his dad to a point where where he's dead. So he throws, while the Newark riots are going on, he slides his body into into a warehouse and lights it on fire. And so now he's been making eyes at the hot little Spanish chick, I mean, not Spanish, Italian chick from Jump. So, he's now in her guts. She's his guma. And there's this underlying story theme where he's like, oh, I can't have a son. I want a child. I want a son. And she can't give me a son. And it gets rectified the snap of a finger, where he just pops up, after the Newark riots bit, there's a jump forward, and, they just have a son. And I for one, was under the impression, well, would that be Chris's mom? Would the Guma end up being able to bear him a son? No. She's just there to instigate, actually. She's there to instigate the real star of this story, or the real story of the hour, which is the Newark riots, which is the focus on the Newark riots. Oh my goodness, black man died in police custody. Let's burn this son bitch down. And that's exactly, and that's basically what it was. There's a little bit of commentary. It was like, well, let him pass. He's white. This is so great. But either ways, there's a line where there's a storyline where a gentleman by the name of Harold is running numbers for Dickie. And as he's running these numbers, he's conflicted as a black man. I mean, yeah, he's making good money. He's making more money than most people around, but he's conflicted about his position. And so what he does is he starts his own little numbers running market, and it comes directly in conflict with Dickie, and they're going at it. I mean, we're talking about this war in the streets, son. Black people dying, Italian people dying. It's just, it's crazy. Both sides are just getting bucked on every day. You know what I'm saying? Drive-bys, we wilding, we out here. And kidnappings and all that other fun stuff, while black dude is smashing old girl. And so And so before any of that's like really rectified, Dickie himself is murdered. But the old girl, like the hot Italian chick, right? She's sitting there fucking a black dude, Harold, and well, Dickie himself being a great guy that he is, and he really apparently loves the hot Italian chick. He he's like, yeah, I'm gonna back your salon, whatever it is you want to do, I'm gonna back it. And so she confesses, literally out of nowhere, that she was banging the black guy, and he murders her naturally, and leaves her body like floating in the ocean. And honestly, one of the things that really kind of struck me about the movie was how few Mulians and niggers with the hard R's that we only got one. And that was after he found out that a dude had been up in the guts, like a brother had been up in the guts. So, this movie, man. This movie, it's so not attached to anything. It's attached. It's slightly attached, right? Like they got the memes in there. You know, you never had the makings of a varsity athlete, and the oh poor yous and stuff like that. And it was a lot of how do I put it? It was a lot of cursory. Acknowledgments, a tip of the hat here and there. Hats off to the gentleman who played young Paulie, because young Silvio, the guy who played young Silvio, he really went for it, and you gotta respect that type of performance. And the deal is that it's not bad. It's just so it's so all over the place, and it's so falsely marketed that you can walk away like, yo, like the fuck, like nah, I'm good. Like what the hell did you just do? And that really speaks more to just HBO not being what it once was. No, I'm sorry, HBO. You used to be you was dope back in the day, but now like we're good. And beyond that, there's a lot of lore, that could have been peeled from this world that a lot of people appreciated and enjoyed while it was on the air. But yeah, sometimes it's best, I guess, to let sleeping dogs lie. So guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Don't be scared of yourself. If you enjoy my fantastic voice, you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute, like, I'm the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description. Actually, go in the description box and do damage. And speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? I almost forgot about the scene on Branford. Now, during the Newark riots, right? There was this one elongated shot of Branford, and at the end of the street, at the very end of the street, there's this tall white building that's there today, but I'm not sure it was there back then. Like, I know they shot in Newark. I mean, movies are shot in this area rather often, but still, at the same time, it's just like y'all couldn't have, like, I don't know. I may be wrong. And it was nice seeing Rossman's again. Like, there were some shots in this movie of like throwback, Newark areas that were really authentic. Well, I'll put it to you like this: like the stores and the era, and the decorum of the time were, yeah, they were adhered to, and that was cool. That was really cool. Like I said, there's a lot to like about the movie. But you guys know me, I'm a story guy, and this story was just like they really did try to do just way too much, and then presented it as they used Michael Imperioli to tie it all together at the end. Like, he narrates in the beginning and narrates at the end, and I think that they did that on purpose, because yeah, it barely, everything that happens in the movie, like when it comes to tying together, and not but so much. I consider this rather disappointing. So guys, with that being said, let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next one.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem.